What's going on, Legionnaires? Welcome to another episode of the Legion of Comic Correction, where we talk all things Thor!
Thor.
We're jumping back into our Thor series. We've been doing a run of the Thor movies to lead up to our Thor Love and Thunder review. So far we've done Thor, we've done the Thorquel,
Thor.
we've done
other
we're
Thor.
about to do
the
Thorlogy,
and
and then we'll end up with our Thorsome.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a good time. So if you are new here and you like talking about comic books, specifically Thor, go ahead and like and subscribe, hit that bell. So
even if you don't like Thor, just like and subscribe.
You should, because you should probably like us, because we're cool.
We're cool.
Just do it.
Yeah, we got cool stuff going on.
We're hip.
Stop it and do it.
We're cool. We're hip.
We have a podcast.
We have a podcast. So go ahead and open up that description down below. Click on all those links down there to take you to all kinds of cool places.
Push that button.
Like legionocc.com, where you can get sweet merch.
Push that button.
Like that. Sweet merch like this, and sweet merch like some of that over there.
There you go. There you go. There you go.
You can support by buying some of our cool stuff. You can also support by becoming a Patreon member and getting lots of exclusive stuff, depending on which tier you pick. So pick one and help us make a better show, because we couldn't make it without you.
Patreon of the Legion.
Patreon of the Legion. That's right.
Oh, that's well done.
I like that.
I like it a lot.
Patreon of the Legion. Yeah, let's sell it.
Sell it.
Sell it.
Sell it all. Well, we had
Hashtag.
we've actually had lots of people trying to. You didn't hear this, Harry. We've had lots of people.
Of course, I haven't heard it.
I didn't hear this either. I don't know what it is. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hear it. We've had lots of people trying to break into the Legion account, like
really?
Hundreds of people.
Nice.
And Brett's
what,
been
though?
like fighting them to get like access to our accounts.
Yeah, he's actually
Like all the stuff.
He's had to physically
had to,
fight
like,
them.
Yeah, no, digitally.
Mainstream
physically.
broad. Let's go.
I don't know.
Physically.
10 o'clock a.m.
Uh-huh.
Well, he's tall enough; he'll just step on everyone.
Right.
It's true.
But no, he's had to like.
He's got reach,
lots
man.
of people. He does have reach.
Brett's got reach on
Both
everyone.
physically,
Probably pretty fast, too.
and digitally.
Mm-hmm.
Physically and digitally. Is yours running out of battery too?
No.
Oh, thank goodness. All right, good. All right, well, we are going to jump into Thor Ragnarok. If you haven't looked at our earlier episodes, go back and check out. We did
check 'em
Thor
out.
the Dark
Just do
World.
it.
We did Thor 2011,
Yep,
and
yep.
then lots of other stuff. So go ahead and watch those videos. And then come back here and watch this video. We're going to talk about a comic review of Thor Ragnarok. So let's jump into our Carnage report. Oh,
Death.
You're all
sorry,
right.
I had like a major burp.
Yeah,
Acid
it's black
reflux.
chrysanthemum in your throat.
I had some black chrysanthemum in my throat.
Yeah.
It's like a hairball, a
Yep.
Star Wars hairball.
Gotta get it up.
All right,
That
so
won't go down easy.
we've been talking about the budgets of these Thor movies. Kind of, they've been getting bigger and bigger. Thor Ragnarok is
Big budget.
no different here. What do you guys think was the budget for Thor Ragnarok?
I'm going to go with $276 million.
276. All right,
230.
230. All right, you're both wrong. 180.
10
only
million
went up to
more?
10 million?
It only went up 10 million.
Wow.
Especially with all that CGI. Oh my
Yo,
gosh.
And it looked great.
And with
The
the
Hulk?
Hulk.
Really?
The other thing, too, is having Bruce, what's his name?
The Hulk. Mark Ruffalo.
Mark
Mark
Ruffalo
Ruffalo was in it. Yeah.
Yeah, he was the
And-
Hulk the whole time.
And, what's his name?
Surtur.
No. Goodman, not Goodman.
Jeff Goldblum.
Jeff
Jeff
Goldblum.
Oh, just you're talking
Matt
about
Damon in this one?
you're talking about star
No,
power.
Matt Damon isn't in this one.
Matt Damon is in this one.
Oh, this is the one
Matt
with Matt
Damon.
Matt Damon.
He did that for free.
Probably.
You think so?
He's
Probably.
friends.
Well, you know-
he's friends with Taika. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah.
His favorite holds the bold.
What? Oh, his stupid.
No, it
Yeah,
doesn't.
his stupid
Bitcoin or crypto commercial.
Crypto.com.
my
Oh, yeah.
goodness, poor guy. No, 100
Favor is in the future of the brave.
held by people who do things others won't.
Congratulations, space astronauts of the sea.
You can successfully navigate a party. Didn't that you see that part of that commercial where it's like everybody's doing like big stuff, like they're like walking on the moon.
Yeah,
and
and there's
they're,
like two
sailing,
people.
and there's like 3 people at a party.
Yeah.
Like, well, it's COVID, so I guess parties are
It's
scary.
a bogus party.
Scary.
I guess I don't know what's
It's a lame party.
True.
I guess I don't know.
Lame.
All right, 180 million. What do you think it made worldwide? We'll go the
Worldwide,
whole
Worldwide?
shebang. The whole shebang overall. How much do you think it made?
853 million.
I'm going to go with 1.3 billion.
1.3 billion?
I don't know.
Are you high?
Yes, I am. I'm joking, but do you want me to give you a real number?
Give me a real
Give
number.
him a real number.
Wait, what did I say?
1.3 billion.
1.3 billion?
I blacked out for a minute.
So ridiculous.
It's a big one.
I'm going to go with, I don't know, 900 million.
900 million.
Solid guess.
$1, Bob.
I think this guy's eye hustling. You eye hustling?
Yeah, solid.
He's eye hustling. It was 853 million. There's no way. You've been close before, but you've never been like on the dot.
What was
You had
it?
to do it on my phone.
853 million.
I had to do it on my phone.
You brought up the
I
site.
brought it up.
Whatever. 853 million. Made 300. Made 350.
That's what Malekith should have looked like. They should have hired me to play him.
Yeah, maybe.
And I would have got away from it with some meddling kids.
That's right. We're the monsters all along. Yeah, 315 million domestically, and then 853 million globally. So a huge jump up
Yeah.
from like the 600
Huge.
and so million. So yeah, they're just keep going up and up and up. We get a big tonal change here with Taika Waititi coming in and taking over the run and doing a lot of improv.
Needed it.
Yeah, refreshing. Yeah, even Chris Hemsworth himself was saying he was kind of getting bored of the character and where it was
He
going.
got bored of the character after 2 movies because of how bad the second one was.
Four, because he had done Avengers and Age of Ultron.
Fair.
But regardless, he was like, man, I kind of want something fresh.
Irregardlessly. Ing.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Kiwi, she, irregardless.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Of course. But yeah, he got a little bored with it, and he was like, I want something fresh. And Taika Waititi came in and said, hey, I'm from New Zealand. I got some fresh stuff.
Yeah, I mean, if you've seen
Gave some fresh stuff.
a lot of Taika Waititi
Taika's stuff is crazy. Jojo Rabbit, man.
Top above that even, and above this is What We Do in the Shadows, man.
Yeah.
That is such a funny
What We
movie.
Do in the Shadows?
What We Do in the Shadows is
my
such a
goodness.
good movie.
And the show apparently is
The show
like
is
just as
amazing.
good.
I watched that too,
Show is
man.
funny.
It is great.
He just had a new show. The flag we fly is pirates or something. Something about pirates.
I don't know. Yeah, but I did see him. He was
plays
Blackbeard. I did see him playing Blackbeard in like a TikTok.
Yeah,
and he
it's
was just somebody like said like sir, and he was like, I'm not no sir.
Well, it's
sir.
It's him and Murray from Flight of the Conchords, the band guy. Like they're their
So
manager.
good. Yeah.
Apparently, he went to do Blackbeard and he looked up and was like, nobody really knows what Blackbeard was like, and so he just didn't do any research after that. He was like,
Yeah.
"Man, I'm just gonna make it up."
Yep.
And he just did
play
what he
him.
wanted to do.
Just play him. Do
Yeah.
it.
I mean, they knew what he was like.
Nope, not really.
He had a black beard.
All they know is he had a black beard, and he didn't even.
He
play him.
probably didn't.
He doesn't even play him with a black beard. He has a gray beard.
It's got black in it though.
It's a gray beard.
Is it all gray?
It's almost entirely gray.
Oh. Well, we don't really know. He was called Blackbeard, but maybe he didn't have a black beard.
Listen, if
That
I
show
learned
people off.
anything from history and Assassin's Creed Black Flag,
Thank you. Thank
he
you.
used to
what
put
we
like
should be basing this on.
Come on, dude. You know how much extensive research Assassin's Creed has done?
He used to
Probably
put
a lot.
He used to put fuses that he would light
Yeah.
in his beard.
I mean, that's true.
that
I looked into it.
I don't know.
That
Anyway.
man has to be one of the scariest people.
Taika Waititi?
No. Taika Waititi does not intimidate me in
I don't
any
think
way,
so
shape,
either.
or form.
But he's
Even as Korg.
Him
I am
sitting
not
in a
intimidated.
chair,
he
like
makes me want to just
just
like love people more though.
he's always like this. He's always like,
He's super chill.
I don't know if he knows how to sit in a chair.
You ever see the movie?
Do you think Taika Waititi knows
"Hi, I'm
how
cool."
to? Yeah.
You ever see Free Guy?
No, I
No, I
haven't
haven't
seen
seen
Free
it.
Guy.
Really funny.
Really?
Ryan Reynolds is freaking hilarious.
Yeah, I don't know if he knows how
I
to
don't know
sit in a
But
chair.
Taika Waititi plays he plays a game like a developer who like he's the one who creates the free game.
ah,
Whatever. And he's very funny. He's like a tycoon.
he's like a cat.
Yeah, that's good. Just like that for us, the podcast. All right. Well, cast. So the
Kind of
biggest
freaking me out now.
the biggest jump here, turn this way. The biggest jump here was Taika Waititi jumping over and director.
You're probably wondering why I brought you all here.
Right. No, it's like when Thor's spinning at the beginning of the movie. He's like,
Yeah,
"Oh,
exactly.
oh, wait, wait,
Hold on,
wait,
hold
till I
on.
turn around.
Wait.
I
I gotta
swear
come back
I'm
around
not,
again.
I'm not doing anything. It's doing it on its own.
I gotta come back around again.
So we got Chris Hemsworth returning as Thor, Tom Hiddleston as Loki. We get Mark Ruffalo making an appearance, and he's in most of the movie, which is great. Nobody knew kind of how much he was going to be in it, but he was in it pretty much the whole time as the Hulk. Idris Elba comes back as Heimdall. And then we get some new people. Oh, Anthony Hopkins as Odin. We get Benedict Cumberbatch giving a cameo as Doctor Strange.
Uh-huh.
Taika Waititi plays Korg himself, the Rock Man, which is pretty cool. And then we get a whole bunch of like new people that they just decided to throw in there to make these really cool characters.
Well, there's a few really important people.
Sure.
Yeah.
Carl Urban comes in. You guys know him from The Boys, right? As Scourge with Des and
Dredd.
Troy.
Yeah.
He was Judge Dredd too. Yeah.
That's a character, or that's an actor that I'm surprised didn't
Lord
want
of the
to
Rings.
take on a
Yeah, he's
larger
Ymir.
role. You know, like we just talked about how
It's because he wanted to make fun of them by playing in The Boys.
Look at all my stuff.
Look at all my stuff.
Yeah. Well, he comes in there. Tessa Thompson comes in as a big player at Valkyrie.
Yeah.
She's freaking incredible.
She's awesome. She is awesome.
Matt Damon.
Jeff Goldblum. Yeah, we'll get to that. Jeff Goldblum comes in as the Grandmaster, brother of the Collector.
He's great at
Pretty sweet.
anything.
Oh my goodness.
Well,
yeah.
do you
Whatever
understand?
he does is
He's
fantastic.
not acting anymore.
No,
Yeah,
he's just being
done acting.
himself.
He's just walking around just being himself.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm just Jeff Goldblum.
And they dress him up, and then he just talks and acts like himself.
And he knows what he's got to do.
They give him what they want him to wear,
Yeah,
which is usually just wild anyway.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
his normal outfits.
100%.
And then he just does his thing.
Yeah,
And he makes it better.
He's
You know
gonna
he's
be-
married to like a girl that's like 20 years younger than him or
she's a
something.
contortionist.
I didn't
Do you know how
that.
they? Do you know how they met?
Circus
No,
excuse me. I
he
need
was-
to exit out of this
He
conversation.
was playing. No, he was playing piano at like an open mic jazz night, and she came and contorted on his piano. Like
He
on, like,
may be the
top of
most
piano.
interesting man.
And he was like, "You're amazing," and then they got married, and they have
He's-
like 3 kids.
Jeff Goldblum's the most interesting man in the
I
world.
think one of his kids' name is Ocean. Yeah.
honestly,
He did have
should
that
be,
show.
Honestly,
super
he should
cool.
be doing Dos
You
Equis
ever see
commercials.
that? Yeah. Are you talking about the show where he's like fascinated about everything
yeah, it's like
on like Discovery
The
Channel or
World
something
with
like
Jeff
that?
Goldblum.
History
Yeah.
Channel.
Or something like that.
He goes around
I
like
think it's on Disney Plus.
it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it
there's a
is.
whole-
Oh, I
there's a-
gotta check that out.
There's a whole episode where he just like goes about the history of sneakers.
Yeah,
It's
he goes to
really
a sneaker
cool.
shop. They make him like Jeff Goldblum sneakers.
Yeah.
I gotta check that out.
It's
All right. We got to
Yeah.
keep going. Kate Blanchett comes in as Hella.
Kate
another big
Blanchett?
one. Yeah, no, Blanchett.
Mhm.
She's fantastic.
That blanket is a real heavy one.
And then probably the 2 most important actors in this entire movie. Luke Hemsworth
Yep.
comes in to play a dramatized version of his brother Chris as Thor.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt Damon comes in
Damon.
to play a
Matt
dramatized
Damon.
version of
Loki.
Loki. And
Yep.
Sam Neill comes in as a dramatized version of Odin.
Yes.
Like, what the heck? How did... I want to know...
Sam Neill.
Sam Neill?
Sam Neill is also from Jurassic Park.
Yes, he is. He's
Jurassic Park 3.
Grant. Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see. He's also in the
Show me
Joker.
a picture of him.
Oh, you want to see a picture of him? I don't know if you read. He's not like he's the guy that goes like I didn't.
Yeah,
he's from the Jurassic
Yeah.
Park where he falls and he's like I can't believe they walk in herds.
Yeah.
That guy.
they do travel in herds.
They do
Yeah.
travel in herds. Then he like throws up because he's so.
All right, dude, that was uncalled for.
That was my Velociraptor. Anyway,
I think we've lost Logan.
well, that's actually interesting that Sam Neill is in there with
I'm just-
Jeff
dude,
Goldblum.
Dude,
Yeah.
I'm just super
Jurassic Park
chill.
people. That's cool.
Dude, I'm
be
just super chill.
I just want to know.
I'm
I
just
want to
chilling.
know how did Taika Waititi get a hold of all those people? Like,
It's-
how did he just get all those people?
It's
to do
L.A.
This? No,
He-
I
he just
understand
Probably
walked-
that.
met them all at a party.
He
and was
just
like, you know what?
probably-
Let's make a movie about this.
Honestly,
he's
he
very-
probably just walked up to their
He's
doors and
very
knocked on them.
charismatic,
Excuse me. I was wondering, can you play my movie?
and they're like, "Yes."
All right, fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We talked last episode.
Passed out many pamphlets.
We talked. The only people that showed up were my mom and her boyfriend. He doesn't like me very much. We talked last episode on Thor: Dark World that they kind of did a misstep on the source material. They didn't
They
do a very
messed
good
up.
job, right? Yeah, it was garbage.
They
So
messed up.
Taika comes in and he takes inspiration from Jack Kirby, incredible inspiration for Jack Kirby and just his visuals. And then he takes from multiple really, really important comic runs and holds to them pretty true.
This is no longer a funny joke.
It's hurting your legs, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, you're not that young anymore, man. All right. In 2004, there was a 6-part comic run about Ragnarok.
6 parts!
Yeah, and it was the destruction of Asgard. It had to do with Surtur and destroying Asgard. So that happened. I mean, Surtur came in.
happened.
He did Ragnarok. He destroyed Asgard. Pretty sweet.
Yep.
Thor's whole change in look with his hair and his outfit and his just what and like the swords and the whatever.
What about his eye?
the eye.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the losing of the eye.
Yeah.
No. It kind of got brought out of Unworthy Thor.
Mm-hmm.
But in Unworthy Thor, he loses his arm, not his eye.
Mm.
I liked the parallel though of
I'd like a
losing the
one-arm
eye.
Thor. I'd like a one-arm
What's up with
Thor.
them not
Yeah, he has,
committing
like, a
to
vibranium
cutting
arm.
people's arms off?
Well,
Same thing with like
In
Rick
the-
from Walking Dead. Like,
in
he
phase
should've lost
one,
his,
phase one, was it every movie somebody lost a hand in honor of Star Wars in Marvel?
Really?
What?
Yeah, I think it's just phase one, maybe phase 1 and 2. I have a tickle in my throat. Sorry.
Really?
That's not right. That is not correct.
Yeah, like I think it's 1 and 2. You should look it up because it's like
Cap
I
didn't
don't even
lose
know
a
how
hand.
Claw loses his hand. What?
No,
Cap
he's saying
didn't
like
lose a
someone
hand.
in the
Someone
movie.
in every movie loses a hand
Oh.
as an homage to Star Wars.
I was like,
no, somebody in every movie. So like
I'm pretty sure every hero still
in
has
Thor,
their hand.
in Thor: Dark World, like Loki, it's a illusion, but he gets his hand cut off. Claw gets his hand cut off in Age of Ultron.
Well, that's standard.
But anyway, yeah. But regardless, it was this thing that they did that.
Okay.
I don't know if
Okay.
it was phase 1 and 2 or
That's
I
a
don't
pretty
remember.
awesome homage.
It's cool. So he takes his look from Unworthy Thor, which is pretty sweet, and then the whole Hulk bit that we see
Yes.
on Sakaar
Yes, I already know.
is Planet Hulk,
Planet Hulk.
and it was like
Planet
it
Hulk.
was so much about his outfit, the gladiator outfit,
Yeah.
his whole
Yeah.
He's become kind of sentient, and like
Yep.
Hulk has taken over, and Banner's kind of lost. So they took all these really cool storylines, kind of meshed it all together into like a Thor Hulk buddy
Yeah,
cop
how he
movie.
ended up there is different. You know, in the comics,
Oh, yeah.
he's actually sent away by the Avengers because he's too much of a threat.
Hulk is, yeah.
Hulk,
Yeah.
and
In
then
this
he
one,
lands on Planet Hulk.
Well, it's
Um,
similar because he flew himself away because he
viewed himself that
as
way.
too
Yes,
much of a
yes,
problem.
You're right.
So it was similar.
Similar.
And then in the comics, Hela, of course, does destroy Mjolnir.
Mhm.
And she does in this too. So it was
Yes.
like Taika knew his source. He went for what he wanted to go for, but he still made his own.
Which is exactly what Harry touched on last time, which
Yeah.
is like you have to stick to the road. But what Taika did a great job of was deviating and coming back, deviating and coming back. He created a wavy line and did not make any left turns that were
And his villain,
so much of a problem.
his villain was right. She's the goddess of death. She is kind of like the unwanted sibling. She has the Fenrir, the giant demon dog, and
so cool.
she wants to rule Asgard. Like, so he kept the same motivation, and she was freaking terrifying. Like with all of her sword things coming out of her hands and like cutting people. When she broke Mjolnir,
Yeah, Kate.
like you felt the fear.
Kate Blanchett is an amazing actress.
Yo, she's
and
terrifying.
She just did an amazing
Was
job.
it phase
with
1
this.
and 2?
I think it was just phase 2.
Just phase 2.
I don't know. It was like from Infinity War back
If it
to
is Age of Ultron, it's got to be phase 2.
Iron Man 3.
Okay, so yeah, phase 2.
Apparently when Feige started really... Has Feige been here since Iron Man 1?
He's been here since the beginning. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. But
I
he
don't
did.
know. Maybe when he had the most pull.
Well,
because
remember,
apparently
the board kind of left and he took over.
so that was what-
maybe that's what it was.
Early on with the Avengers,
Right.
every decision was made by a board.
And then
Right.
they
And
said...
he took over.
Yeah.
And then when he saw the direction that board was starting to head, he just told them, so it's me or all of them.
Yeah.
And they said
chose
they
Feige.
chose him
Right.
because he wanted to
Don't
take
blame
full
him.
control because it was starting to
So when was
become. It was
I don't
between 1 and 2 somewhere. It was between 1 and 2. I think it was right after 1. I think it was right after
phase 1.
Avengers. Yeah.
Yes, maybe that would have lined up then. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us if you know. Drop it in the comics. All
Yeah.
right. That's our source. That's our Carnage report. Let's jump into our comic review. All right, this one's a little bit different, right? I know last one was a little bit of a chore. We didn't like Thor Dark World, but this one, Thor Ragnarok, very, very, very different.
Yes.
What do we think, guys? Harry, why don't you start
You
us
kick
last
us. I
time?
started us
Yeah, why
last
don't you
time.
kick us
Go
off,
ahead,
Harry?
Harry.
So
What
we're
do you
just saying what we...
think?
what do you like?
think it did
I don't know.
well? What do
What
you
do
think
you-
it didn't do
I mean,
well?
to be
What do you
honest, like
think?
I didn't... after watching Dark World, I wasn't too excited about this. This was how many years after? Like 4?
Oh, man, I put my
3.
device away. It was like 3 or 4.
3 or
yeah.
4 years.
Yeah.
Something like that.
It was a
Anyway,
little bit of a longer chunk.
yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, like I wasn't like super enthused. Actually, I don't even think I saw it in theaters. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
I, don't think I,
Yeah.
thought,
Wow.
I may have, or it may have been like
You know
weeks
what?
later.
Wow.
I don't blame you. Honestly, I think the Kirby visuals drew me in and made me really want to see it in theaters because I'm such a big Kirby fan. Like I think that kind of.
I mean, I wasn't really.
but yeah.
Even back then, I wasn't like a big Thor guy.
Yeah,
Still
yeah.
not
See,
like a big
I think-
Thor guy, but
I think this is the thing. I think Thor's just my boy. I think that's
Yeah, he's
that's
great.
my. I think that's my hero in
fine.
the Marvel universe. Without
Yeah.
some of these other ones, like
Gotta have that Dorito. Man.
I think he's awesome, and that's why yes, I agree with you. I was disappointed by the Dark World, but I still Ragnarok. You
Well, that
saw
brought
those
us back.
trailers. The trailers are
trailers
what
look
drew
good.
you
yeah.
in.
But at the same
They
time,
always
like
do though.
I've always been a
That's true.
DC guy, and there's not like
Right.
I'm with you.
You know what I mean? Like,
I'm
there's
with you.
not like comics that are like, oh, it's funny. It's like it's all around good movie. Like DC's just like,
Yeah.
this world sucks, and this is what people are trying to do to fix it. Like that's it. Yeah, it's literally just like, okay, here's the worst that the world can offer. This is
Yeah.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
Thor's really optimistic.
Yeah, and that's
love
the
it.
thing is like,
I love it.
Usually
I mean,
That's true until Endgame.
until Endgame, man.
Well, he made a really big
yeah.
mistake.
See, that's the thing is I like that Thor, but
Yeah,
That
Thor
Thor was good.
It's great.
no, to be honest, I mean,
Fat Thor is my favorite. Fat Thor
you
is
mean
my favorite
Noob
Thor.
Saga 69.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wait, no, that's
He's
the guy
my
that yell at.
favorite
That's
Thor.
the guy that
He's back
yeah.
on Thor.
Thor, Thor, he's back. Listen here.
Do you ever see the commercial where they
I'm gonna
reveal?
fly over that basement of yours?
Yeah.
Do you ever see the commercial where they reveal who Noob Slayer 69 is?
No, who's it?
They did like this like
Who was it?
GameStop
Who is it?
commercial. It's just a random GameStop guy.
Oh, I see.
But he like talks about I forget who he's talking to, but he literally is like, yeah, and I used to go by Noob Slayer 69, and everybody was like, what?
It's new master, I think. New Master.
Whatever.
Well,
But
it should have been Cap.
that would have been
Steve
hilarious.
Yeah,
Rogers
that
playing
That would have been
Fortnite.
hilarious.
That's funny.
No, okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, so you like that? You like that Thor obviously the best. But what did you think about Ragnarok when you finally saw it?
No, when I saw it, I was like, okay, this is actually really good. Yeah, the comedy was. I mean, that was when like Marvel started really picking up the comedy scene.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that's what like propelled it. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
they've
A little
been
too
leaning
far
on it a little too
sometimes,
heavy.
yeah.
Now, geez, yeah, they've got to
Yeah,
Yeah.
tone it back a little bit.
No,
Here.
I liked it. It was a good movie. I thought. See, it's kind of like it's got the Empire feel to it. You know what I mean? Like it's got a little bit of not too much, but a little bit more of a tragedy than it was.
Yeah.
And I'm all. I mean, I'm all for that. Like I like that because that kind of brings you back down to like, oh, not everything's like fairy tales and pixie dust with
Right.
especially with the Marvel, like, the MCU at that point. It's just like you're like, I don't know, everything's great. Everything, good guys are always winning. It's just like, well, did anyone really win in Thor Ragnarok?
Not-
I mean, like
not
Asgard
really.
got destroyed.
Yeah, Thor lost his
I
eye.
think-
Thor lost his eye.
Half the people of Asgard died.
Yep.
He
I
was
think
enslaved
the
for a
only,
while.
I think the only win, it's for like 3 seconds. Then we find out, but the only win is Thor is actually worthy of being king
Right, he
for the
becomes
first
king,
time.
and,
Yeah.
and then he
For the
shows,
first time,
and then Thanos' ship shows up.
Thanos' ship.
And Thanos kills half the rest of them.
Yeah, like
Yeah,
I mean, it's
right.
just
Yeah,
for the
you're right, you're
first
right.
time through the course of this movie,
Yeah,
we
he's
see
matured.
Thor maturing
Mhm.
and growing in a way that would allow him to lead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the thing is that
and Loki too.
yeah, and Loki too. I think there was, even for being the third movie, there was still a lot of character development, so that was great
Yes.
in that.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just all around like enough comedy, great character
Right.
development, great action, great like just like theatrics in general with the drama and things like that, and there
Yeah,
being
yeah,
a
yeah.
climax and then a fall, and then there's like So I mean, I think it was just all around a great movie, and I wasn't expecting that at all.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those things where it's like you expect nothing. It could go either way.
Sure,
Thankfully,
sure.
it went really
Low
well.
expectations to
It's,
go in.
yeah, it's also the
they killed
same
it.
way with the Eternals. Walked in, was like, this is gonna be, this could be good,
Mm,
and it was trash. So
Need to bring the mood down.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, no, you're right though. You
I like Ragnarok.
You go in and it's like, well, they didn't really hit the mark on Thor 2. So let's see what they do here. It is
Yeah.
what it is. It's
I
going
also-
to be different, and it was freaking fantastic.
Yeah, I'm also down for like when they break up the Avengers and like have them just two together, like two going off. Like that's why I like Captain
and they're
America and
back
the Winter
and
Soldier
forth.
was great. I like
Yeah.
that show. Was it like groundbreaking like Loki or even WandaVision?
Oh,
no,
so
but it was
trippy.
just a good like, okay, this is like these guys are achievable heroes.
Yeah.
And that's, I mean, for me, like, that's why, I mean, Cap he's got super strength, but he used a little HGH.
Well, but New Cap doesn't.
It's true.
New Cap's clean.
True. But
he's just Louisiana grown.
that's right.
Yeah,
Shrimp.
man, he's strong.
Shrimp.
With
Shrimp.
a little bit of adamantium.
No.
Not
Who? Oh yeah, his outfit has
his
adamantium.
entire
That's true.
outfit's
That's
fine.
true.
And his
Wakanda
wings.
brought him his wings.
His
Yeah.
wings and his entire outfit.
No,
fine.
but it's still cool.
Wait,
he's still
It's vibranium.
Vibranium,
Yeah,
not adamantium. Is
vibranium.
Yeah, I'm
You're
all
just
wrong.
hopeful, man. You're just
I'm
waiting for
bringing
that.
it in.
Waiting for that.
Bring it
Wolvie.
in!
Come on, Wolvie.
Yeah.
Where you at?
But no, yeah.
Vibranium. Yes,
So
thank
for
you.
me,
Yeah,
I'm
for
all
sure.
about those ground level troops. That's
Yeah.
why, like, in Marvel,
Well,
like Cap or
and
I mean,
they
my favorite Marvel character is probably Daredevil.
Yeah, so
But-
good. Moon Knight.
I like Moon Knight. I just
Conceptually.
didn't really know anything about it
Yeah.
before Moon Knight came out. So that's how, when I think of Moon Knight, I don't think of like
Right.
the comics. I think of what's
Oscar
his
Isaac.
name? Oscar
yeah.
Isaac. So,
Yeah.
What's
but when I
cool-
think of Daredevil, I think of like Daredevil Yellow and all that.
What's cool is that you like the grounded guys, right?
Yeah.
But like this took two of the most powerful Avengers and very much grounded them.
Yeah.
Everyone they went against was as big and as bad as them.
That's true. I do like the Hulk.
Strongest Avenger.
I do like the Hulk, but
No, but what I'm saying is,
Strongest
like,
Avenger.
it still felt very grounded, even though
Yeah.
they were cosmic and they were
Yeah.
fighting like these crazy creatures.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
Mjolnir got
Yeah.
yeah. Straight point break.
Point break.
gets him in.
Point Break.
And it's like, oh, welcome, Bruce Banner's strongest Avenger. What? I love it, man. Yeah, and there too, Chris Hemsworth and Mark Ruffalo's like banter.
They're
was
dynamic.
just
Yeah.
freaking amazing.
Yeah.
So good. Everything,
Especially-
nothing felt forced.
especially-
Everything hit.
I like you better.
yeah.
Yeah.
Hulk's just like, oh, smash, but you got brains.
Yeah. No, right. No, I like you better.
He's all like numbers. Yeah. Oh man. And when that's the thing is that we've seen it is that Chris Hemsworth has an incredible comedic character. Like
He's just an incredible
he's
actor.
so
We've
funny.
seen it in other movies and
Yeah.
everything now.
And Taika was like, "You're funny.
he's just phenomenal.
Be funny," and he
Yeah.
let him be funny, and it was just like, man, everything just worked.
I agree. I think this is the first movie where we saw that tonal shift that you're talking about, where we start to see more of the comedic elements, even when we are dealing with really
You
like
still felt, man. in
well,
this
we're
one.
dealing with horrible.
Yeah.
Like the storyline is horrible.
Well, and
the
even
storyline is like this is really, really sad and difficult. I mean, in this movie,
yeah.
you deal with, as I said before, Thor deals with more loss than anybody in the entire MCU.
He loses everybody.
Like he loses everybody. But
Well, the
we
Warriors
again
3
see him-
die. The Warriors 3 die in this.
Yep, the Warriors
right
3
at the
die.
beginning. They're in
Yeah.
the movie for like 30 seconds.
Warriors 3 die.
Yep.
We see Odin die,
Odin dies.
and Asgard is destroyed.
Yep.
And his entire people are
And his sister.
enslaved.
I'm sorry, and his sister.
Does
He
Scourge
has,
die?
he has to kill his own. Yes, Scourge dies.
He has
But-
to kill his own
But
sister.
Scourge wasn't like a friend of Thor's. They
Nah, I
fought
mean,
in
actually,
the
he's-
battle
yeah, he was-
together, but like,
Well, he was actually
Yeah.
his enemy with the Enchantress.
Yeah, because he joined. Yeah, and then he joined
in
Hela.
the comics.
Yeah. But
But
like,
my point is,
Yeah.
like, he loses
Yeah.
a ton in this movie. You're dealing
Yeah.
with great
Great
loss.
loss.
And
Yeah.
all the while, we're dealing with a tone that has this jovial point to it.
Mhm.
And we're able to balance those pieces together really well. Because if you just do a flat read of this script, if I was to just flat read this script without some of the improvised parts,
right,
like, this is a sad movie. This is a dark film. And Taika probably saw that and was like, yeah, I could go that route. I could
Just
go
make it
what
really
everybody's
dark.
expecting. But I'm not. And I thought that was really brave, and I thought that was really smart. But I do agree. This is the first one where you see that happening, so it was refreshing. It was fun.
Yeah.
Now I agree with you, Harry, and we're not analyzing other movies, but what has happened is people
The
have tried
trend,
to recreate that
what he's done,
and do it too much, and now it's like that's the crutch that they're leaning on in a number of these movies. Now,
I mean, you know what the only movie is that they
whole
didn't do
separate
that to?
conversation.
The Eternals.
Yeah, should have been
Probably
funnier.
needed it.
Should've
Probably needed
Should've
it.
been
I don't think it
funnier.
did.
It wasn't a joke.
It wasn't a joke.
The whole movie was
the
a
whole
joke.
movie wasn't a joke.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
except for Kit Harington.
Come
Come on, Black Knight. Come on,
Yeah.
Come on, Blade. Come on, Black Knight, team up. We got to slay some Dracula.
Well, you've heard that they
they're
they
supposed to team up.
They haven't contacted.
Mahershala Ali, the guy who's playing Blade.
What?
They haven't contacted? Who haven't they
Whoever
contacted?
they contacted.
Blade.
Really?
Oh, really?
His voice was in the end of
Wait,
Eternals,
what's his
though.
name?
Mahershala Ali, something like that.
I thought it was Mahershala Ali.
Mahershala?
I thought he had a different name.
No, it's him.
No.
Yeah. Anyway, well, that would stink, and if they did that, then Marvel, shame on you. Because
that would
he's
be
freaking
real
incredible.
shame. He's perfect casting for it. He's perfect.
Would you say that the later Marvel movies went a little too far up the devil's anus?
I would say they have, I would say they've reached cavities they probably should have not gone
They
into.
probably shouldn't go up
They
there.
should have left those cavities alone
Agreed.
and stuck to the main trail. You
Yeah,
don't
trail.
you just stick
Yep.
to the main anus.
Easy in, easy out.
Like you're fine. Yeah.
I think so. That's
I
good.
agree.
That's good
I
life
agree.
advice right there.
Yeah.
No, it's great movie.
Agreed.
Opened up a lot of development for Thor that led right into Infinity War.
Well, it introduced so many characters that we needed introduced for the second phase. I mean, Valkyrie
is so great.
so important in this next phase as well. Like, I'm excited to see what they're doing in Love and Thunder with her.
Yep. Tessa Thompson returns.
Everything that happened with Loki. Like, we finally get what it seems to be
a reconciliation,
between Thor and Loki, and then it's like, oh my gosh.
And here comes Thanos.
And
ooh, party pooper. Well, you know what else happens though is that it also sets up the ability for Asgard to.
Your response, ooh, party pooper.
Devil's anus.
But
anyway, it sets up the whole bringing Asgard to Earth too.
It does.
That's pivotal in Infinity War and Endgame, having Asgard on Earth, and it's also a big part of Love and Thunder. Is like we see in the trailers that they go back to King Valkyrie, and like her interactions on Earth. So like this movie brought Asgard away from where they were originally on that planet and brought them to Earth.
Yeah.
It's just, I was like, what's the planet that Asgard's on?
What's that planet? What's that?
Well, Asgard's a people.
Not a place.
Yeah, right? It's peoples.
It's the
But
peoples.
I
All
thought
the
that
peoples.
I thought that was the best part of of this movie was the tonal shifts across the board, and the story shifts. Like there was just so much change that happens in this movie over the course of the movie for all of the characters, for all of the storylines, for all of the places. Even like it's so impressive.
Well, and whether Taika understood it or not, and he probably did because he seems like he did his research. But whether he understood it or not, as you look at Thor through the comics, in certain runs, not in all of them, but in certain runs, both him and Loki, as they spend time on Earth, as they spend time away from Asgard, they shift in the way they talk, in the way they joke, in the way their vernacular is. They assimilate. They leave the Shakespearean.
Yeah.
And assimilate the more casual. So like,
he's clearly done that. I mean,
100%.
over the
Like,
course
it's gone
of these
at this
films.
point.
Yeah.
Like he's just him now, and he's taking on the surfer dude like persona or whatever.
Yeah.
But it's like, I think of Earth X and like Loki and Thor don't talk like that anymore. Like you don't have to talk like there's a situation in Earth X where Loki confronts Thor and is like, you don't have to talk like that. Like, why are you talking like that? That's based on the myths they made us into.
Right.
We don't have to talk that way. We can just talk normally. And so it's like we get to see that in here where they've kind of left that Shakespearean, motif behind and became normal dudes.
Yep.
Just guys being dudes.
Yeah, just guys being peoples and dudes and people.
Two swole dudes, man.
Swole dudes.
Two swole dudes. That's
Swole
really
dudes.
that's the
A
premise
swole
of
dude,
this
a kind
movie.
of swole dude, and a rock dude,
Yeah.
and then a chick dude.
That is true. We do get Korg in this.
Yeah, Korg. Yeah, well, I was gonna say there's a lot of new characters that aren't from the comics, like Korg and Meek. And they're freaking fantastic. Meek.
Poor Meek.
What's coming out of you? Is it
eggs?
Is it eggs?
Eggs?
Is it eggs? And well, we find out Meek's a girl. So in Love and Thunder, she's wearing a pantsuit. So I love it. Like it's so
Weird
good.
flex, but all right.
Weird flex.
Yeah. Well, nothing goes better with a pantsuit than knife hands.
True.
Yeah. All right. Verdict time. I think we're ready for the verdict. Yeah. Verdict.
Yeah.
All right. Verdict time.
It's a perfection. There's
That was
no
quick.
debate.
That was just like
There's no debate. It's
right
a
out the
perfection.
holster
It's perfection.
right there. Yeah, I think it's a
I
perfection
think it's
too.
pretty much anyone that's an actual.
It's a top 5 for me.
Yeah, I would say.
Really?
It's a top
I would say
5
most.
Marvel.
I would say.
Alright.
I would say your average event
Yeah.
average MCU fans. It's in their top 5. You know,
Probably. Let's see. Well, okay, so since it is a perfection,
But shots fired.
let's since it is a perfection, let's. Uh-oh. Wait, hold on. Wait, I'm sitting in the middle.
About to go to war with a guy with a lightsaber and side blades?
How long is it going to take you to get those on?
About half the amount of time it's going to take me to kick your butt.
You want to go to war?
No.
No.
That's what
Perfect.
happens. That's exactly what happens.
Oh man,
Sacrifice him on the inside in the middle.
this was a Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
That was a Ryan Reynolds Green Lantern.
All right, so
Oh, I broke it.
perfect.
Weird
My
flex.
forearms are just getting
Yeah,
too
we're
big.
Getting too big,
Yeah.
man. You're popping out of your side blades.
Could have loosened it.
Jeez,
What? No, they
It's
were
got a buckle
perfect.
on it, dude.
Whatever. I'll just make it better.
make it
that's fair.
better.
That's what Batman would do.
All right, perfection. I think so.
Yeah.
Since it's a perfection, where do you rank it in the MCU films? Not in like comic book films altogether.
Personal?
Yeah.
This is my top
Since
5.
we're all saying it's perfection, where do we rank it? You say
This
top
is in
5.
my top 5.
All right,
I don't
top
know
5.
exactly where.
Or
but in my
okay,
top
so this is
5.
the
So what do you think?
this is the biggest
It's
debate
tough.
here. Do you, because
Yeah.
of what they are, do you count Infinity War and Endgame as 2 movies?
Yes,
Mm,
I do. I
But
count
they're
them
like-
as 2 movies.
they are so connected.
They're not. They're separate because by a
They
whole year.
are.
Okay.
They were released a whole year apart.
Okay.
For this argument, let's say that
They're separate because they're
movies.
separate movies.
Let's
Okay.
just say they're
Well,
separate
those 2 are
movies.
definitely in my top.
Yeah, for sure.
5.
Those are in my
Mhm.
top. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, man? I think
I mean, I could argue that it'd be in my top 5, but like maybe
Oh!
5. But
Oh!
it's definitely in my top 10.
it's in my top
Definitely
10
in top
for
10.
sure. I'm gonna say,
Also, are we
say
counting
7.
the shows?
No,
Or just
No,
no,
MCU?
just
movies,
movies. Talking
just
movies.
movies.
I'm just talking movies.
I'm gonna say 7 for me. It's
7.
lucky number 7.
Mm.
I think it's my number 7. Because the fact of the matter is I've got Spider-Man: No Way Home.
Yeah, you're a big Spider-Man guy.
I got that. I've got
It's. I mean, even with not being a big Spider-Man,
Right,
fan,
it's a
that's
freaking fantastic
solid
movie. I've got Multiverse of Madness because I'm a huge Sam Raimi fan, and there were
Okay.
so many Sam
I
Raimi
don't know
pulls
if I
in
put that top 5.
That's not top 5.
But you're not as big of a. I don't think you're as big of a Sam Raimi
You're
fan
right.
as me.
You're right.
And like,
You're right.
there's so many homages to
Yeah.
his old films. So like those two,
Listen, no one's coming at
Nobody's
Yeah, yeah.
knocking you. I'm just kind of
Infinity
like
War-
I'm comparing my own stuff to
Infinity
your
War
thought
in there,
process.
Endgame is in there
Yeah,
for
yeah.
top 5, and then probably Captain America's Winter Soldier is
Soldier.
in my top 5. So
Yeah,
like,
you
See,
really-
I'd put.
five
really
I'd
there.
take out
holds.
Spider-Man. I'd probably put in Iron Man 1.
Yeah, well, yeah, Iron Man 1's in my top 10, so that's why I'm saying that would probably be 6, and then Thor Ragnarok would be
This
7.
would probably be a good exercise. We need to do.
We
this.
need to sit down
We
and-
need to actually sit
and,
down
like,
and
rank
do
out.
our top 10.
Rank them up.
Our top 10.
No, let's do all of them.
Our,
Oh my
our
gosh.
top 30,
We can do top 15.
top 15. We might as well do all of them then.
No, I mean, yeah.
There's
if we're gonna
43
go-
movies, isn't there?
I don't know.
Something like that. We should get them all printed out and we,
We
should
should
rank
get 'em
them.
all.
That's what we should do. You're
Should do it.
100% right.
should
We
do-
should get them all.
You're right.
All right.
Got to catch them
Eternals,
all.
number 1.
Number one.
Number
Perfection.
1.
No, number 1.
It goes Eternals, Iron Man 3,
Black Widow.
Black Widow, Thor Dark World.
No. You've got your numbers wrong. It goes Eternals, Eternals, Eternals,
Oh yeah, it takes all the
Eternals,
slots. Black
Black
Widow.
Widow.
Oh my goodness.
Stupid.
All right, well, that was our Thorquel. No, I'm sorry.
No!
Our Thorlogy.
Thorlogy.
That was our Thorlogy. We've got a
Yes.
Thorsome coming up next episode. So make
Yep.
sure you stop
Yep.
back on the Legion Comic Correction
Once
we
you've
talk
watched it.
about Love and Thunder.
Yeah.
Or you could just come and listen to us because we might be more entertained than the movie. Who knows? We probably are.
More entertaining than the 4th movie of Thor.
We're pretty entertaining people.
I mean, we're up there, but I don't know if we're more
Some would
entertaining.
call us entertainers.
True.
I am the entertainer.
I am the
I know just where I stand. I'm the serenader and another long-haired man.
That's pretty good.
That's
For
good.
someone being tone deaf, that was
Yeah,
pretty
that
good.
that wasn't so bad.
One day I was a champion. I may have won your heart.
Well, actually, that's
But I
not bad.
know the game and you forget my name and I won't be here in
It's from all the
another
days of
year.
drinking.
Maybe.
if I don't stay on the shots.
Okay, the
No,
end.
it's not- I mean, it was horrible,
The
but
end wasn't the best, but the rest of it was pretty good.
oh, you're a big
you.
Joel guy, huh?
I am a big Joel guy. I
Not-
do
not-
like Billy
80s Joel.
80s Joel.
80s Joel.
Only 80s Joel. What don't you understand?
You learn something new every day.
Freaking Catalina wine mixer.
I want to drive a Range Rover.